Hare Krishna. We are reading from Caitanya Caritamrita. We are on Adi-Lila, chapter 5, text 36. We had begun the purport. So we are read a bit of the purport and we'll continue today with the verse. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So I'll just read the verse, the translation again, where it has been stated that the Lord's enemies and devotees attain the same destination. This refers to the ultimate oneness of Brahman and Lord Krishna. This may be understood by the example of the sun and the sunshine, in which Brahman is like the sunshine and Krishna himself is like the sun. So this is a verse from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And we are, and it also appears in the Vishnu Puran. And so we are continuing to read from the purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has all the tendencies that may be found in the living entity, for he is the chief living entity. So the Lord is also a living entity. You know, we are living entities and the Lord is also living entities and he's the chief of the living entities. So we have certain tendencies. Where do they come from? We have them because they are there in the Lord, because they are in him. And that's the reason we have them. Therefore, it is natural that sometimes Lord Vishnu wants to fight. So why do we have this fighting spirit? Because it is there in the Lord also. He has this desire. The Lord is the complete whole. Nothing can exist which is not in him, because he's the creator of everything. So all the qualities are also in him. You know, he has all the qualities. So just as he has the tendencies to create, to enjoy, to be a friend, to accept a mother and father, and so on, he also has the tendency to fight. Now, if we think that, oh, how can the Lord have this tendency to fight? But we have this tendency to fight. So if we say, no, the Lord doesn't have it, but I have it, then what am I trying to say? That I'm greater than the Lord. But that's not true. I am not greater than the Lord. He is the greatest of all, you know. So then it's illogical to say that, oh, I have certain qualities and the Lord doesn't. Then I'm being illogical. So all the qualities are there in the Lord. And that's the reason we have these. We have certain qualities of his in minute degrees. So sometimes important landlords and kings keep wrestlers with whom they practice mock fighting. And Vishnu makes similar arrangements. The demons who fight with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the material world are sometimes his associates. When there is a scarcity of demons and the Lord wants to fight, he instigates some of his associates of Vaikuntha to come and play as demons. So he has a desire to fight, and when he sees there is no demon to fight with, he brings his personal associate, as he did with Jaya Vijay. We saw how he arranged for the cursing of Jaya Vijay. The Fokumaras had come. So we can see, you know, how the Fokumaras and Jaya Vijay, they are instruments in the hand of the Lord. And we also, each of us is actually an instrument in the hands of the Lord. But we do not realize it. We do not realize it. We tell the Lord, I don't want to be your instrument. So then we become instruments in the hand of Maya Devi, in the hands of this modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance. When it is said that Shishupal merged into the body of Krishna, it should be noted that in this case, he was not Jay or Vijay. He was actually a demon. So Shishupal is actually a demon. He is not Jay Vijay because he merged into the body of Lord Krishna. In his Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Sanatana Goswami has explained that the attainment of salvation by merging into the Brahman effulgence of the Lord cannot be accepted as the highest success in life, because demons like Kamsa, who are famous for killing brahmanas and cows, attained that salvation. So Sanatana Goswami, one of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, he has written Brihad Bhagavatamrita. That's the commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. Brihad Bhagavatamrita. So he is saying that Kans, who is such he had a lot, he's called a demon. Why? Because of his activities, because of the qualities. What was he doing? He's killing people. He's killing cows. He's killing brahmanas. And even such a personality, because he's killed by the Supreme Lord, he got liberation. He got mukti. You know what is called mukti, moksha. He got that, salvation. So then Sanatana Goswami is saying that this kind of liberation, this kind of mukti is not the highest success, you know, because imagine a person who's demoniac, who's killing people, who's torturing people. He is getting this. So what is he explaining? For devotees, such salvation is abominable. Abominable. They don't want it. They desisted. Why? Devotees are actually in a transcendental position, whereas non-devotees are candidates for hellish conditions of life. There's always a difference between the life of a devotee and the life of a demon, and their realizations are as different as heaven and hell. So why is somebody a devotee and why is somebody a demon? It depends on our desires. It depends on our activities. How are we acting? What are we speaking? What are my actions? What are my desires? What is my consciousness? You know, there's nobody waiting here to condemn me or point fingers at me. But they're just trying to make me understand what am I doing. So the devotee, their position is transcendental. Why? Because they're always connected to Krishna. Their consciousness is connected to Krishna. Their consciousness is on the transcendental platform. But what about the demons? The demons' consciousness is on the bodily platform, on a very, very gross platform. So then, then naturally, where the destination will be, you know, Krishna gives us the opportunity to fulfill our desires. So if I have demoniac desires, if I have demoniac tendencies, Krishna will put me in a place where I can fulfill these desires and fulfill these tendencies. And if I have a transcendental consciousness, he will give me a destination where I will be able to be in that consciousness. That is how kind and loving Krishna is. So demons are always accustomed to being malicious toward devotees and to killing brahmanas and cows. For demons, merging into the Brahman effulgence may be very glorious, but for devotees, it is hellish. So now, if I'm a demon and I have done many atrocious activities, then my destination is going to be hellish planets. But instead of that, I can enter into the Brahman effulgence. Then it's a very, very great destination for me. Because otherwise, if I was not sitting in the Brahman effulgence, in the Brahma Jyoti, I would have been gone to hell. Yeah. So for me, it's glorious. But now, for a devotee, if I'm a devotee, then I don't want to be in the Brahman effulgence. Why? Because a devotee's aim in life is to attain perfection in loving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because when I sit down in the Brahman effulgence, then I'm just sitting there and doing nothing. I'm feeling happy, of course. There's nobody disturbing me. There's no frustration. I'm sitting, understanding that I'm the soul. And so there's no miseries of the material world. That's there. But there is no loving exchange with anyone. I'm not speaking to anyone. I'm not doing anything except just existing. I'm existing, but I'm not doing anything. And so as a devotee, what does a devotee want? A devotee wants to have loving exchange with the Lord, because we, each of us, have an eternal loving relationship with the Lord. We have loving relationships here in this material world, but those relationships are temporary. Sometimes they end up in frustration, or sometimes they end in separation. So they are temporary. But we have an eternal loving relationship with the Lord, never ends, and it gets sweeter and sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. So that is the aim of the devotee. Those who aspire to merge into the Brahman effulgence are as abominable as demons. Devotees who aspire to associate with the Supreme Lord to render him transcendental loving service are far superior. So then it's just for the sake of different, like how we have the different levels of a ladder. You know, you're on ladder 1, ladder 2, ladder 1, ladder 2. So although it's the same ladder, the ladder is the same, but just the level is different. So that's the reason that entering into the Brahman effulgence is a lower realization, and entering into the Vaikuntha planets and actually having a loving exchange with the Supreme Lord is a higher platform. It's the highest platform that any living entity can attain. The highest. So reading on, Taiche Paravyome Nana Chik Shakti Vilas Nirvishesha Jyotir Bimba Bahire Prakash. Thus, in the spiritual sky, there are varieties of pastimes within the spiritual energy. Outside the Vaikuntha planets appears the impersonal reflection of light. So what's happening in this Paravyoma, in the spiritual sky? This is the Brahma Jyoti, right? This is the light, the impersonal reflection of light. Now, there are many planets in the Vaikuntha world. In this spiritual sky, there are many spiritual planets. And inside these planets, there is a lot of pastimes happening. A lot of activity is happening. It's not that there is nothing there. You know, like for example, we look out at night and we see different planets. So there is activities going on in those planets, although we can't see them because they're so far away. But they are living entities who have bodies suitable to live in that atmosphere, and those living entities have interactions. Similarly, in Vaikuntha planets, they are living entities with spiritual bodies, and they are having spiritual pastimes. That's why it's all under the control of the spiritual energy. The material world is all under the control of material energy. Nirvishesha Brahma se Kevala Jyotirmaya Sayujera Adi-Kari Tanha Paya Laya. That impersonal Brahman effulgence consists only of the effulgent rays of the Lord. Those fit for Sayujya liberation merge into that effulgence. So the spiritual sky, the effulgent spiritual sky, that is called the Brahma Jyoti, that is just light. That's the light which is coming from the body of the Lord. And so if someone is qualified to enter that light, then they just are suitable. They just get the position to be in the light. They cannot enter into the Vaikuntha planet, cannot enter in the planet as yet. So any questions or comments? If not, then we'll stop here for today. Thank you so much for listening in and joining. Shri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Shilpa Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.